Look at the Louvre. It's gorgeous. And for many economic analysts around the world, it perfectly represents the current European condition, a beautifully preserved museum. Outside observers increasingly view the continent as a premier tourist destination, a place to admire the past, rather than a forge where the future is actively built. This GDP chart validates the pessimism. In 2008, the EU's economy was 10% larger than America's. By 2023, it shriveled to 67% of the US total. This gap widened staggeringly, losing 30 points in 15 years, pushing the continent towards a tipping point. But while the world fixates on these economic stumbles and prepares to write Europe off, they are overlooking a hidden, immensely powerful second face. Accepting the museum label is a miscalculation. It ignores the irreplaceable global choke points that Europe still quietly controls. That strength rests on foundational industrial monopolies, sectors where the modern world cannot function without European technology. Take semiconductors. The Dutch firm ASML holds an absolute global monopoly on the machines required to etch the world's most advanced microchips. Without them, the high-end tech sector stops. This dominance scales from the microscopic level all the way to the stratosphere. By pooling engineering skills across 4 countries, Airbus successfully engineered an industry titan that now controls exactly half of the entire global civil aviation duopoly. In 2024, Airbus delivered 766 aircraft, more than double the deliveries of its American rival, Boeing. With a backlog of over 8,000 planes, it's a case study in how collaborative European engineering can systematically beat global competitors. In the most complex, high-barrier industries on Earth, European hardware remains the indispensable core of the global economy. This base is supported by the continent's continued leadership at the bleeding edge of science and medicine. Consider pharmaceuticals. While many of the most famous medical firms are global, they still fundamentally rely on Europe as their manufacturing heart. 29 of the world's 30 largest pharma companies maintain major operations in Belgium alone, fueling a biotech sector that has made the country the 4th largest pharmaceutical exporter on the planet. From applied biology, we move to fundamental physics. CERN, located near Geneva, is the world's premier scientific proving ground. It manages a collaborative scale that is unique in human history, gathering the absolute top physicists from 30 different countries to actively solve the most basic mysteries of the universe. This concentration of research proves that Europe's intellectual capital is not stagnant. It remains a primary engine for scientific discovery. But the hardware and the science depend on a third asset, a level of social and political integration that has become almost invisible to those living within it. Programs like Erasmus have trained 10 million young people in cross-border European citizenship, creating a workforce that views the entire continent as a single home. This population is united by the single market, a system designed for the frictionless movement of goods, services, and ideas. This deeply wired cultural and economic unity creates a resilient structural foundation that no individual nation-state could replicate on its own. Europe today exists as the most deeply integrated continental space in human history. We've reached a point where citizens cross 27 sovereign borders without needing to show a passport. A historical miracle that replaced checkpoints with cooperation. The evidence suggests the primary problem isn't a lack of industrial or scientific capability, but a habit of underestimating these existing achievements. The industrial monopolies and scientific hubs we've tracked prove that the raw materials for a recovery already exist. Reversing the economic slide is a matter of deciding, at a political level, to stop the hesitation that has allowed rivals to pull ahead. Europe must wake up to its own immense structural strength and act decisively now. The foundations are there, but the clock is running out.